the chat box, I'll be able to go for it. If you have any question, type it here. For the first picking those who are raising up their hand, but in case you have an issue, you can type it in the chat box. I'll be able to answer you. So last time we had ended with this eyepiece lens, but of course, remember I told that some microscopes may have two, some have one. And even the prices will differ. With the two will be more expensive, and you find that it will even have just has a mirror. Now the eyepiece enables one to view the specimen. That's number one. And then also magnifies the image from the objective lens. Magnifying means to make something bigger. But Sachi is saying, teacher, what lens is used in a microscope? We talked about a convex lens last time. Okay, it's a convex lens. Mirembe Jemima, please first type your question in the chat box. For the first 10 minutes, I'm not going to be choosing people because we have just started. And I can't go back to what we had looked at last time. Elizabeth is saying, can a microscope measure the temperature? Oh, thank you for that question. Now, as you can see, the microscope does not have that provision of measuring temperature, because we normally use what we call a thermometer to measure temperature. Thermometer. It is what we use to measure temperature. Okay, with the microscope to measure. And teacher, what are beams? Okay. Teacher, I'm new to this Zoom program. Yeah, okay, thank you for coming. Okay, I'll talk about beams. Then Agaba, how does light affect a microscope? Now, beams, that word I think you have watched in movies. But of course, depending on the context, that word beam can mean very many things. But in terms of light, it's going to be different rays of light that are being emitted from a given object. And then, how does light affect a microscope? What do you mean by how light? Because as you can see, it's just a metal. Light is not going to be affecting it like as the whole microscope. There is no problem. When you put the microscope in light, it has no effect, because actually to operate it, we operate it in light. Okay, so it doesn't have any effect on the microscope as a whole instrument. Okay, and then Agava is saying that view. Of course, light is the one which is refracted. Light is the one which, are you seeing this mirror, Agava? When light comes, it's going to come and then it's reflected by the mirror through the condenser upward. And normally the specimen is placed here. And for you to clearly see this specimen in detail, light must go through it. And then it goes through the objective lens and then up to the eyepiece where you have your eye here. So for you, normally the eye is placed here, and then you are able to see. You're able to see because light has gone through the object. And then how does the microscope with the two eyepiece look like? I'll show you a picture of Pio or Poi. Then teacher talk about how a microscope works. Okay, I'm going to talk about Shadik. I'm going to talk about how the microscope works. And then, yeah, as we are moving. So then another structure is the barrow. Barrow in Luganda, you can call it like omudumu barrow. That is what it can be like, omudumu barrow. But it's not omudumu. The barrow is this one. This kind of thing where that holds this eyepiece. This is the barrow. Okay. This whole thing that holds this eyepiece is the barrel. You can see that it provides support for the eyepiece and objective lens. The objective lenses are this one. This is 1, 2, and 3. Normally, each microscope has 3 objective lenses. And then teacher joined me to the, this one is supposed to be for the admin. Okay, so, and then the nose piece or the turret is this round thing. This one is the nose piece, this one here. Now it holds, you can see that it is holding these objective lenses. There are 3 of them. And when you want an objective lens to be in position here, position of the stage, you rotate it. So this turret or the nose piece can be rotated to focus the objective lens onto the specimen. Okay, we can go to another structure. Another structure is called the stage. I think some of you have ever performed somewhere on events. Okay, you have ever performed on an event. Now a stage is this one where the specimen is placed. And if you can zoom in here, that's why I put this picture. You can see that we are having a stage. Now this glass that you are seeing is called this is a glass on which we normally place the specimen. Those microscopic specimen. Now for some specimen, we may not have to place them on that glass, okay, depending, but those, most of the microscopic specimen, now you can see this was a okay. This glass is called this glass is called a glass slide. Okay, now I don't know whether your phones can be able to zoom into, there is that kind of a dark layer there. Now you can see where the drop is, the color there is different from this the surrounding. Now that is a glass slip on which they, after putting the drop of blood, they put a glass slip, so that as this objective lens is coming down, even if it comes and touches here, this lens is not affected by the blood sample, because that is covering that a small piece of glass which is placed on the stage. This is the stage that we are looking at, where we place the specimen under observation. Okay, and you can see this was a blood sample. Probably they were checking for malaria, because if someone is suffering from malaria, they can use this, or typhoid. Okay, and then teacher, other uses of a microscope. We shall reach there. Opoi is saying, what is a specimen? Thank you for that question, Opoi. Now, a specimen just means the organism or the object under observation. I repeat, the specimen is the organism. Organism means anything that has life in it, okay? That is an organ. You can also be an organism. Or the object can be like anything, anything that is tangible, anything under observation. That is what we call a specimen, or what is under study. That object which is under study is what we call a specimen. Okay, so this blood sample can be called a specimen, okay, because it is under observation or under study. Then we also have a mirror. We also have a mirror. A mirror is this one here. Now this mirror, this is where light, it's the one which reflects light. Light comes like this, and then it is reflected upward, so that it can go to this specimen. But what some microscopes don't have this mirror. Scopes don't have the mirror. What do they have instead? They have a light source, you find the microscope inside, and those are the microscopes. Microscopes can use electricity, but some do not use electricity. Okay, so that's a mirror reflecting light from the external source to the specimen. Another thing is this stand, normally flat for the microscope. Another structure which is called the diaphragm. The diaphragm, okay, Tekno is saying that, teacher, which topic are you teaching about? Teacher, hearing you well, not. You're not hearing well, maybe your network. You first leave the meeting, then you come back. And then you go to a place with network. Paul is saying, is the microscope portable? Yes, the microscope is very portable. You can even carry it yourself in your hands. It is my first time to start. Teacher, breaking. Now, you were saying that I'm breaking. Normally, it could be your network. Find a place that has proper network. Now, what you guys must know is we are doing, first of all, we started with, we are doing biology, senior one biology. We have senior one biology. We began with the Indian, where we look at life processes. Life processes are characteristics of living organisms, okay? And then afterwards, we looked at the different branches in biology, those different things that we study in biology, like genetics, botany, zoology. Then after doing those branches, we go on to the instruments which we used to study. The instrument which we looked at was the hand lens, okay? We use the hand lens to study biology. Now, the second instrument is called the microscope. And this is where we are. Now, we are learning about the microscope, okay? And I hope each one of you is following. So don't get lost. The problem is that it's my first time to start. Okay, must assist me with your number. And then which subject is this? Those people, normally you guys were in tables, those people are asking subjects this. And if you know, in biology, okay? I've told you, I'm going to choose those who are putting up hands after 10 minutes. I'll be choosing those who are putting up hands after 10 minutes. And I want questions to do with the topic. Here is this topic called magnification. This is microscope. Under magnification under the microscope is the subject. Now looking at the diaphragm of light from the specimen. Now normally structure on the stage, this is what we call the stage here, but there is a structure down, which is called the diaphragm. It is that structure through which light passes through. Okay. Now this diaphragm normally has, show you, this is how it looks like. This is the diaphragm. To see it, and diaphragm is normally found just under here, under the stage. When you rotate, are you seeing this one? This thing, this button rotated towards this side. This thing in the middle, it opens up and it becomes like this. Okay. So up, it opens up. After it has opened up, it becomes like this. You can see that it is now all this condenser. This is what we call a condenser here. This one, the condenser is found on the diaphragm. It's going to concentrate light reflected from the mirror. If you want light, you push this button towards the left. If you want more light to go through the specimen, you push it towards the right. And this is how it will look like. You can see that here there is a small katuli, like a small hole that can let in light. But now here there is a bigger hole, meaning that more light is entering. So that's what we call a condenser. Then the arm is like in Uganda or hand. Arm is used for carrying the microscope. This is the arm of the microscope. Teacher, where can we get these notes? These notes are already in we call go classroom already. Specimen understand is what we call the specimen. Now at this moment I may entertain some questions concerning the topic. I'm seeing Singuzi, Vasco. You may unmute and then you ask your question.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, your hand is up. Can you ask your question?
I was asking what type of microscope can cells?
Can you see cells?
Yes.
The light microscope can see this microscope that you are seeing here. It can also see cells.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it can. Thank you for the question. And then Junior Foden. Okay. Yes, Junior Foden, you may unmute and then you ask your question. I think your network is not okay. Let me choose Magan. Magda.
Yeah, yes, teacher. I was asking that which type of beam is used in these microscopes? Because we have the convex and the converging and the diverging beams. So which of the three is used in these microscopes? Yes.
Okay, sorry for that. Lydia. Yes, Lydia, can you ask your question? Yes, Lydia, I've unmuted you. Can you ask your question?
Teacher, you can hear me?
Yeah.
We have how many types of microscope?
Lydia, you're to join. About that is the pound light micro, and then the electron might go down deep in each. For example, in the electron micro, there are different types. For example, there is scanning S microscope, EM, or even if it is the simple microscope, we have a compound light microscope and a simple microscope. So for us here, we start two, the light microscope because it's light to see, and the electron microscope. Those are the only ones which we study. And then Prince Cornelius. When I ask you to unmute very and then you answer. If you did it, may I choose Prince Cornelius, Daniel. Okay, let us go to Queen Elizabeth. Yes, Elizabeth, Queen. Can you ask your question? Okay, I've told you when I think so. Don't waste time. Namirembe Beatrice. Yes, Namirembe.
Excuse me, teacher. What is the
Yes,
use
please.
of a low power objective on a microscope?
Thank you for that question, Beatrice. We are going to look at it on the next slide when we are looking at objectives, objective lenses. Thank you for that question. Then Opoi. When I ask you to unmute, you unmute. If you ask these, your network is not good. No, it is yours which is not good. Elvin, they cross each other. What is optical microscope? Used for optical just means light. Optical microscope is the same as light microscope. So they shouldn't confuse you. Optical means light in physics. When you're learning about optics, we are learning about light. So optical microscope just means light microscope. Teacher, please, I can't hear you, but most people can hear me. It's your network which is having the problem. Now let us go to the next slide. Next slide now is about one to look at the okay. Now this clip is found on the stage. Now there are these metallic things that you see. We call them clips. They hold slide. This is a glass slide, or this one here is a glass slide. This is a clip. They hold the glass slide firmly. On the stage. Then we also have what we call coarse adjustment knob. The coarse adjustment knob moves the object is either up or a focus object. Okay, and we also have if I see this question, then Husna wanted to answer it. Then Roderick says, "Teacher, I'm not hearing it. Is your network?" Who is saying teacher was off the previous part? Something very clear. Now bring specimen to a microscope has this other knob, this one. Sometimes it can be at the bottom here. Sometimes it can also be around here on the arm. So it depends, you see, but normally the coarse adjustment knob is bigger than the fine, but they may, in most cases, they have the same shape, but the sizes differ depending on the manufacturer of that microscope. So now this fine microscope, fine adjustment makes the object clearer. This coarse adjustment can focus on it, but then when it's not clear, when it's still blurred. But this final adjustment makes it very, very clear. Husna, I can describe light and electron. Okay, Husna, I'll choose you a little bit later as we are concluding. And then objective lens. Now the objective lens is magnify this. This one. This one's quite more in them or mosquitoes. Now objective lens, lens. Now the low power objective lens is normally it has on it there are some words written on like time, for example, times 10 on it, low power. Now this one, first of all, it's going to see when you're looking through the microscope, you're going to see the object when it is kind of smaller. I'm assuming this is the field of view where you are seeing the specimen. Under low power, if you are seeing cells, you may see like 300 cells under low power. Then under high power, you will see more detail and few cells. So if under low, so normal high power can be let's say times 100 power. You may see like 2 cells, but you can see more detail. Okay, hope what it was that's to people we can do this act. I'm seeing Martha here. Yes, Martha, you have a question? Martha, can you ask your question?
Yes, teacher. Can you hear me?
What you? Yes, I can hear you.
Teacher, are all types of microscopes used in the same way?
What is your question?
Are all the 4 types of microscopes used in the same way?
Okay. Martha was asking, are all the 4 types of microscopes used the same way? No, it's true. That's not true. It requires training. But this one is very simple. Actually, let me to use it at this point. Okay. This is how we use the microscope. A microscope. I think I use a limit eraser here, and then I first clear off this. I've cleared off that. Let me get a pen. Now, after this is what we do. You must have some knowledge of space between these two clips. You place the glass, place the slide on the stage, then you hold it firm using these clips. After that, use the course adjustment. This is what we call the course adjustment, and you turn it clockwise. Is it anti-clockwise? Anti-clockwise like this. Now, when you turn it in this direction, and you rotate this one, this reflective lens now it has touched the slide. Let me put this down, and then you begin looking through. When you begin looking through using your eye, what you do is begin now begin turning it up. Upward like that. When you turn it upward, moving when it has going to this thing, then you do this. I hope how with microscope, and that one that you had already this to give you enough light to see. Let me see some questions here. I can try to help. Okay. So I think I've understood that. Now let us do this exercise. I'm going to call this one. For now, remember, I may not choose everyone. I may not choose everyone, but you can type your answer in the chat box, and you just type one is, for example, one called eyepiece lens. Eyepiece lens. Okay. What about, so you can type 2, you write the answer in. If you want to 6, you 8, and then it will be 9. It's going to be 9. It's going to be 7. It's going to be 12. It's going to be 13. If you are the chat for any, I'm going to be reading them for anything here that you want to name. One eyepiece, that is by who? Okay. Becky says 1 is eyepiece. Thank you. Research 2 is barrel. But research Alvin says 6 is stage. And then Manchester says 12 is clip. Okay. Meanwhile, you can also first choose some here. Some people are putting up their hands. Let me place this here so that you can see clearly. Yes, Indifuna Ismail. Indifuna, I've unmuted you. Can you please answer?
Sir, 13, a hinge. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Indifuna. 13, a hinge. That is correct. Yes, Prince Aaron. Unmute very fast, you say the answer. Aaron has failed. Let me choose Vasco Musinguzi. Bascom singles has failed. Now this one, how can I call you? Is it 1F smart TB? Please try to use your name so that I can easily identify you and I choose you. That one has also failed. Let me choose Husna.
Find number 14, base or base foot.
Okay, number 14 is base. Thank you, Husna. And then Muiza. Nobody's failed. Let me use Kakule Shadrach. Yes, okay. Yes, Kakule.
11 is
Yes, Shadrach. 11 is and then there is Natasha. Tracy.
12 is a clip.
Thank you. Let me Letitia. Letitia has failed.
No, teacher, number 8 is the reflecting mirror. Number 8.
Thank you.
Mirror.
Yeah, that is actually correct. That is correct. Let me choose Emmanuel. Where Emmanuel is? Yes, Emmanuel.
Number 11.
To unmute the person. Okay.
Number 11. Handle.
It is what?
Handle.
Handle.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Someone may call it thank you for trying. And then Kakande. Kakande.
Number 3 is rotational nose-piece or turret.
Thank you very much for that. There is also Telpista. Telpista. Pista has failed to unmute. Let me choose Restashida. Yes, Restashila.
Number 9 was adjustment.
Okay, thank you. That's correct. Number 9, course adjustment. Ruftana. Yes, Ruftana.
Number 10. Number 10.
Yes.
Find adjustment knob.
It's what? Thank you,
Find
Ruftana. That's
adjustment.
what I've been typing here. We are having people here that have been typing. Okay. So we are beginning with yes, Elvin 610. We finished. Ludia is yes, that's correct. Husna 14 base, yes, that's correct. And then Rachel is nose piece. Yes, that's correct. You can either call it turret or nose piece. Alum says 7 is diaphragm. Diaphragm or condenser. That should be okay. And then rest 9 is force adjustment, 14 is base. Becky nose adjustment, Nora high power object high power objective. Now, Nora, you don't need to specify whether high power or, because you may not know unless they have indicated. You don't need to say high power or low power objective lens. Tekino, Kosa Ludia, 6 is mirror, Timothy, Paul Salva says body tube. Which one? 2? Body tube. Okay, some books call it body tube or barrel. Jade says hinge, number 13. Okay. Bali says course adjustment. Kirao says base. Rest Sheila adjustment. Number 2, Kuvu is base. Okay. And ones bit you also have a label here, and then says base and okay, like that. I think the answers I bar.
Teacher Patrick, can you hear me? Yes.
An answer.
This all I call it.
Your network is not very stable. Teacher Patrick, your network.
Yeah.
Instead of catching the phone, my hand is very warm.
Excuse me, senior one. The teacher is having network, but he's coming back soon.
Okay, I hope the net is stable now. I hope the network is stable now. You can hear me. Yeah,
you're still breaking.
Thank you for that, because of the things that you have. Okay. I hope, can you guys hear me well? If you can hear me, I'm breaking. Now, having looked at the microscope, I hope you can hear me. Sorry for the network problem. Sorry for the network problem. You know, a microscope is a very precious in biology. We love it, and we need to take care of it. We need to take care of it. Breaking, can people hear me well? I hope I'm not breaking you. Am I breaking?
Yes, we are still breaking, but not much. It is improving.
Can't hear me well. Okay. You can quality enjoy. No problem. This one hear me. I hope you hear me. the network disturbances. I hope you got working. Let me set my pen. I hope in biology, we must take care of it. So we also learn about how to take care of a microscope. First of all, it is very delicate. Oh, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, but yeah. Sorry for that. I hope you can hear me without breaking now. Yeah, this and for all. I've been telling you that the microscope, first of all, is very expensive, and it's very useful in the study of, and therefore it should be handled carefully with great care. I think you know that, and you now here. Thank you for that. If you can hear, now put this picture. You have to hold the arm, okay, and then the other hand is placed at the base. That is how we actually handle it. You don't just swing it around anyhow, okay? You don't just swing it, otherwise you may break it, and it's very expensive. Now, such a type actually, this normally goes for around 3 million. This type, you can imagine you get 3 million to just buy this type of microscope, okay? Because this one has an inbuilt light here. Expensive, okay? Okay. So one should be both, as you can see, move out, because they normally just put it, it can move out. And then also, it should always be kept in its special designed box. Normally, these microscopes are placed in a given box. They normally place them in a given box. Okuri saying only one. I don't know what you meant. We are left with about 5 minutes. Let me introduce to you how we can calculate magnification from the microscope. Some people who are raising up their hands. Okay, let me choose some of you. We're having Sam Mukoko. Can you please ask your question? When I unmute you, you ask your question very fast. Yes, Sam. Okay, let me choose Chirabo. Yes, Chirabo. Chirabo. Okay, let me choose another person. Having Mary Angela. This Mary Angela. Okay, let me choose another person. Elvin. When I ask you to unmute, you unmute very
Hello?
fast.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Teacher, I'm asking, on this diagram that you've put, I don't see the diaphragm there.
Yeah, now the diaphragm is normally inside condenser. And if I talk a little bit, if I can go back a bit, here. This is the condenser, but now in the condenser that's whereby you can to increase the size, okay, of or the space via which light enters, or you can increase it. That's the diaphragm. So it is can see on just a microscope, unless you can only point. This can make you see that as a diaphragm. Let me choose another person. Let me see. Is it bad to hold it without touching down? Yes, it is very bad to hold it. Does the microscope have the same features as that of light one? Some are the same, but most of them are not the same. It is totally different. And then Melody. Yes, Melody.
Excuse me, teacher. Excuse me,
Yes.
teacher. Where exactly
Yes, I can
is
hear.
where exactly is the condenser?
The condenser is some part on the diaphragm. Have you seen that thing which I said that can regulate the amount of light entering, whereby you can turn? It's here. This is what you're seeing here. This is the condenser, the whole of it. It's supposed to sit here below the stage. Below the stage, this is where we find the condenser. Sorry, the condenser is just below the stage here. Now on the condenser, you have this. The reason that's why I put this picture because when the microscope is like this or any form, let me show you another picture here. This is what you see, and it's just below the stage. I hope I've answered you. Let me pick another person. Okay. Yes, Kirabo. Kirabo, you've been putting up your hand, but you're not saying anything.
Excuse me.
Yes, what's your question? Yes.
I wanted to answer how to find magnification of a microscope.
Okay, I think thank you for that, but I think we shall look at that next time because of time. Otherwise, goodbye and enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, teacher.
Okay. Bye.
Hi, teacher.